Hello and welcome to another update video about a Metaverse project TA. In this video I want to cover network. I already showed network to the private channel members last Sunday in the live stream, and after that I covered it this week in a video when we were, where were we? I think at around $4 something. And in that video I said I'm going to buy, and I did, and now we're at 587 today with a 24% upside here based on TradingView on the KuCoin exchange. And I showed you that one because first of all, this project has an amazing vision, an amazing team. I talked about it in detail in the last video, but also in the live stream for the channel members on the weekend. And it is one of the Metaverse projects which in terms of price action was lagging a little bit behind. Yes, of course it did pump as well when Mana pumped, but most recently it hasn't really done a lot, whereas Sand and Mana nearly came to new all-time highs again. Well, Mana not really, but definitely Sand. And yeah, but now it seems to be starting to pick up, and it's an amazing project. I find I'm quite a bit of hyped about it, but really liked it. So I bought, made you aware of this ascending trend line. Now that did hold. It looked a bit like it wasn't holding, but actually sometimes what you need to do, you need to be a bit flexible with trend lines, because what happened was the trend line moved a little bit. Yeah, so you can adjust it, and that is still a valid trend line, just a different one, a bit less steep one. So you can see that this one then was actually at play with definitely enough touch points here to make it a valid trend line. So we've got one touch point here, well, two, actually three, you know, here as well with the wicks and a touch point here. So that was working quite well. That is the trend line that I want to keep on the chart now. I did say that on this trend line, even though I showed you the steeper one, but it doesn't really make a difference now. We were moving in sort of an ascending triangle against this point against this 0.214 fib level at 540, which was resistance before, but we broke through it because it was just that bullish momentum we had. You know, we came out already out of the overbought range, which is important. You know, when we had that pump here, when I think that was when Facebook announced the rebranding to Meta and the Metaverse. This is when we also pushed into the overbought range on the RSI. But since then we've moved down, found support at the 50 line of the RSI. And this has allowed us to get more steam again, to continue to move up, especially as we moved against this trend line, which is all the way, you know, generally, not always, but most of the time in an uptrend, you want to buy. And this is not financial advice, this is what I do, but generally it's interesting, you know, it's these dips where you come against the trend line, but it's still an uptrend. They are interesting to buy because then you really buy the dip and you have an orientation. If you have a trend line defined, you have an orientation. And also when you use the fibs, you know, here we found support at the 0.618 fib level and the 0.5. So these were interesting points to buy, but that was before I actually talked about this project. But then here, when we moved down here to that trend line at around 450, that's when I then bought. I wanted to get into this project. And yeah, now we're moving up. So I think we can expect further price increases here. We've got an ascending trend line. Any pullback to the trend line might be interesting to buy. I might use it to continue to buy into this project. And the next key resistance is here at 633. That is also the all-time high, after which the 1.272 extension level is at 752 and then $9. I gave you price target in the last video of around 170. I did say, you know, take it with a pinch of salt. This is based on this uptrend here. Basically, if we consider that a bull flag or bullish pennant, then you would use the height of the flagpole, you know, and add it basically to the breakout point. And we actually had a breakout point where I showed you where I estimated it would be, and that takes us to around 870. But take these target levels with a pinch of salt, because sometimes in crypto, because the markets are so dynamic, they are oftentimes not reached, not exactly, or sometimes the price overshoots. But generally, I would expect us to get there anyway. I would expect us to get certainly to the 1.618, maybe even higher. You know, this project has great partners. They've also partnered indirectly with Cardano through Meld. But there are other partnerships as well, lots of other partnerships. Really interesting project. Can't wait to get into it. Can't wait to have the first More Crypto Online meeting in that network Metaverse. But always be careful. It's obviously they haven't, you know, anything to play yet, anything to test yet. It's all a vision, it's all videos, it's all trailers. But sometimes the cryptocurrency also lives because of the hype. But the partnerships are strong, you know. The project is developing, and I'm really hyped about it. Find it really interesting. really solid and the vision is great, you know. So I'm bullish on this project. I will use any dip to buy a little bit more. You know, I don't want to get, you know, all in or whatever. It's still sort of a side niche, metaverses, but they get more and more important. So it's an interesting one, and the price still, I think, is attractive at the current price level. So hopefully you like that update video about NETVRK. By the way, you can buy it on KuCoin, and for KuCoin you can find a link in the description if you're interested and you're not yet on KuCoin. But yeah, if you liked that video, please smash the like button and subscribe, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.